Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. Well, I was watching. Let me turn this down some. I was watching TikTok, and a woman said something interesting, and I came up to a very unique conclusion about this whole black woman dynamic and her dealings with what she needs to tell herself and what she needs to prove to herself that the lie that she told herself is valid. The lie that black women need to believe is valid is that black men are inherently flawed and black women are inherently flawless. They need these two things to be true in order to be good, in order to feel good about themselves. Now, what do they need to assure that these two things are true? They need to make certain two things. One, that black men relationships with white women fail as a fault of the black men. Two, black woman white man relationships succeed because of black women. They have to tell themselves this thing. They need to believe that these two things are true. So, what do they do? Well, they are on their best behavior when dealing with white men because they need the relationship to work. If it doesn't, then that means that the problem with black relationships is them because that problem carries over to white relationships. And they also will do everything that they can to assure that black on non black relationships are a failure in order to prove to themselves that the problem is black men because when he go to other races of women, the problem persists. That's what they need to tell themselves. The unfortunate thing is that it's complete and total not true. I mean, it's true if they try to make it true, like if they sabotage their relationships with non-black women. And I'm not talking about like they have the ability to do it to strangers. However, a mother does have that ability to do it to her son, and they quite often do. And once again, they be on their best behavior when dealing with white dudes. They will never leave him, and they will always approach him and make sure that it works, so they can tell themselves that they are good women. That's what's going on now. So watching this woman on TikTok, don't know how she got up on my feed because, quite frankly, she's not attractive enough to have a large following. So, but she did, and I guess kudos for her. Let me see if I can bring her up so we can examine. Yeah, that's the word. So we can examine her behavior. Now, I want y'all to pay special close attention to this first video because it really shows what it's really all about. It's not just jealousy for white women. I mean, it is, but it's what they're jealous for. They're not jealous of white women because, you know, who can make a better wife for their husband or who have the reputation for making a better wife for a mate. They're not competing on that regard. They're competing on who gets hollered at the most. And when they lose that contest, and they always do, guess who they blame? I'll give you a hint. He was the oldest member of the Jackson Five. All right, so we're going to take a listen here and hit that like button, would you?
It is the number of men that are with their girlfriends or wives that are looking back at me, like when they girlfriend not looking, they turn around looking back at me, is crazy. Black men, white men, his
What's the number? What's the number of men that are looking at you. Let's just say today. What's the number? Because I got a feeling that this is complete. Well, not completely made up. I'm pretty sure there are men who do that, but I got a feeling that it's rare. You say the number is crazy, it could be crazy rare, and that statement be true. So what's the number? Is it one a day, one a week, one a month, one a year, one a quarter, one every 3 months, one every 4 months, 3 times a year, about as often as you wash your hair? What is the number? And I'm pretty sure it's not crazy. I doubt it's like two a day or something like that. Why are you in the huggy section? Okay.
Hispanic men, like, and y'all want single women to feel bad for being single? Baby, I will take the single and dating life any day over being in an actual relationship.
This was the first video of hers I've seen. I will take single and dating over being in a relationship. Now, think about what that means, fellas. And this is why so many brothers have checked out. Um, what's the purpose of dating if not to be in a relationship? So you're admitting that you just go around wasting dudes' time. That's what you're saying here. Like, oh no, I'm just dating. I'm just, thanks for the free stuff. And I'm about to go on to the next one. And I just like to walk around and get looked at. It's like, okay, you don't want a relationship, you don't have one, you should be happy, but you're not. And we're going to examine why you're not.
Because these niggas, these men, they don't even be liking y'all like that.
So a man looks at a woman's breast and all of a sudden he don't like the one that he's with. Okay.
They be with y'all, but be looking, always looking for another woman. I can't make this shit up.
You actually can and you did.
I gotta say this real quick. I gotta say this. The number of men
Okay. So this is another pretending to be and that she wants attention from a multitude of men more than she wants to be with one man. But let's listen to some more of her delusions. Apparently, she is a fan of Cynthia G. So let's see what they have to say.
King welfare took them out of the home, the Kerner Commission, the war on
Both of these women look like Transformers.
drugs, whatever, what have you, whatever excuse they give. I've noticed that during these times, Black women made no type of adjustments, none at all. They did nothing in response, no consequence, no chastisement, no adjustments. Like, as Black men had a history of abandoning their children, Black women continue to have children with them, therefore reinforcing the negative behaviors. When we see that Black men are inept in a lot of areas, but we still continue to date them, still continue to call them kings, still continue to.
Black men history of abandoning their children. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, everybody has a history of abandoning children. Um, that's why adoption agencies exist. That's why orphanariums exist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But nevertheless, Black women love to paint the picture and point the finger at Black men when he's having abandoned child. They never want to admit to the concept of trick babies. Oh no, I hope GameChanger is going to talk about that. Please don't talk about trick babies. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to talk about trick. No, don't talk about trick. I'm going to have to start. No, I don't. I have to talk about the trick babies. It must be said. I know we're not supposed to mention it in the Black community, but it must be mentioned because there's a lot of lies being told in the Black community. There's a lot of lies being told in the black community. A culture that is so unfortunately drenched in, let's just call it destitution, as ours, is bound to have trick babies. What's a trick baby? A trick baby is the offspring of a destitute and a client. I'm going to repeat this. A trick baby is the offspring of a destitute and a client. Ever notice how these things undoubtedly happen, but no one ever talks about it? They all just say, "Oh, the black man abandoned it." That's the lie. That's the lie the mother tells the child when the child says, "Where's my daddy?" Oh, you see, what had happened was one day he went out to get a 40 and he never came back. Oh, really? You couldn't find him? You don't know his last name? You don't know his mother? You had unprotected SE triple X without knowing anything about him? You can't go to like LinkedIn or anything. You don't have an Instagram. Like you have no way of tracking this man down. Is that what you're saying? How does he even know that you're pregnant or that you were pregnant? You have absolutely, positively no way of tracking this man down. That's convenient. But no, the truth of the matter is a lot, past, present, and unfortunately future. There's a lot of trick babies going on. And then there's also the women who wanted to be on welfare, so they had a kid. And then there's also the family way women who tried to trap a man who really wasn't into her like that. She was good enough to bed, but not good enough to wed, so she tried to turn the bed into wed and failed. They don't tell that side because he's not there. They always just say, "Oh, yes, well, he went out and bought a pack of cigarettes and now he's gone." Okay. Look at how unattractive Cynthia G is. Grotesquely. It's a mashup of wig and makeup, like most of these modern women. They don't look anything different than RuPaul. And they're frustrated at the mating market for not choosing them. Now, can they find someone in this mating market? Absolutely. Men are thirsty and desperate. Desperate. But that's not what she wants. She wants to get hollered at as often as Becky.
Give them access to our bodies, our homes, our wombs. All it's doing is essentially telling them that the current state that they're existing in is acceptable. We're telling them it's acceptable. And it doesn't matter how degenerate and dangerous you become, you're still going to be an option. And for many of us, you're still going to be the option, thereby giving no motivation to change at all. And of course, there's much more examples I can give, but I'll yield it to Proud Black Woman to take up all the time.
I could have swore that she gave her womb to someone who already wasn't taking care of his previous children. That is her, right? She is the one who has done that. But yet somehow it's a black man, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
No, go ahead. Probably you can go because I believe that it starts with men, but I'll let y'all go first. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely on the thin side. It definitely. So the way I see it, and she pretty much explained it perfectly. If we were to look at our current situation, there would be no reason for Black men to be better men. I mean, they're getting everything they want. They're one of the most protected groups. They're more protected than little Black girls, which I always thought was sickening. that we actually protect Black men over little Black girls. There's a problem.
I have no idea what they mean when they say protected. It's really, it's starting to just come up like a buzzword, and I think that it's always been that. It's just a word that they use to invoke some type of emotion. You are an American citizen. That's the beginning and end of your protection issue. What in the world are you talking about? And then more so than little Black girls, what in the world are you talking? So are you saying that if somebody comes with that click clank, society would say, let's protect a grown man over the little girl? Is that what you're saying? Because it sounds like y'all just make that up. Oh, I'm so unprotected. All of these complaints come from not getting hollered at enough. And they're not getting hollered at enough because of the wigs and makeup and the general poor disposition and just being an unpleasant group of people to be around. Hit the like button.
Problem there. We care more about Black men than we do what happens to little girls. And even to the point of Black women feel that way. Black women care more about Black men than we do little Black girls. So in saying that, I would have to say men are not going to just become better men on their own.
Care about and protecting is two different things, but I'm curious, where is this evidence coming from?
They're not interested in that. The average man is not interested in becoming a better man. Men are never going to get together and have the conversation of how can we be better men? How can we be better protectors? How can we be better providers?
Okay, I stopped really. I wouldn't entertain this woman if I known her in person. The moment she says protectors, the moment she says that, I just completely lose focus because I know what they're gunning for, and they're just gunning for attention. And quite frankly, I just ignore them at that point because they don't deserve the attention. And I'm not one of those people who see a child acting out and say, "Oh, this child just wants attention, so I'm going to ignore him or her." No, if a child seems like they need attention, then I give it to them. But you're a grown woman.
They're never going to do that unless there is a consequence, unless there is something required of them, unless that means that they're going to lose something that's going to then force them to say, okay, I need to be better men.
Welfare took them out.
Okay, so you see the game. Basically, they don't know how to be better women. So there's positive incentive and then there's negative incentive. Black women never go with positive incentive. A positive incentive would be a better woman. I will encourage you, and I will encourage you to be a better man because every time you do something that shows that you're a good man, I will reward it. Think about Pavlov's dog. They ring the bell and then give him a treat. And they continue this process. Now, if men are trained the same way, then they will basically continue to subconsciously do the thing that earns them a treat. That's how people train dogs. That's how normal, not Mike Vick people train dogs. However, their technique is a lot different, probably because their treat is trash. Their technique consists of beating the dog for not doing the thing that you don't want or that you want done. It's the same as their parenting, you know, with the belt. Did not tell you to wash that floor, clean that chimney. That's all they know. The whole concept of giving the kid allowance for doing these chores, no. Oh, no, 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 no. It's always dealing in the negative. They always punish not doing what they want you to do as opposed to rewarding you doing it. I want y'all to peep that. All right. So, I'm going to watch a couple more of her things. Hit the like button.
So I've dated a lot of white guys in my life.
Oh, really? How'd that work out
A
for you?
lot.
How'd that work out for you?
Too many to count.
How did that work out for you?
We'll be here until Christmas trying to figure out how many. Okay. But I'm going to tell the story of the first white boy I ever dated because I think it's a cute little story.
Hmm.
It was on a Monday. I was 17 years old.
Once again, their mandate is to show that black female white male relationships are prosperous and black male white female relationships are disastrous. That's their goal. So she's going to make up this story. I strongly believe that this story is made up. I can't prove a negative, but listen to the story and you'll see.
And I had said a prayer the night before. And the prayer was simple. It was something like, the first white boy that I see at school tomorrow that I think would date a black girl, I'm going to go up to him. And that's exactly what I did. Monday came.
I don't think she know what prayers are. I I'm sorry. Was that a did you just say you said was that a prayer? To me, it sounds like a duty list, like a plan. So correct me if I'm wrong. I say something like, "Yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna pick up some taco meat and I'm gonna get that low carb tortillas and I'm gonna put some shredded cheese, the Mexi mix shredded cheese with that. Instead of for getting paste picante sauce, well, actually, I'm going to get paste picante sauce because the other leading brand was made in New York City. Thank you, Lord, I'm in. What kind of prayer is that? You see the foolishness that goes on in their brain?
I think after like first period or something, I was walking to my next class and I saw this white boy. And I knew he dated black girls because he had his pants like starchy.
It's a damn shame that they're looking for indicators that he dates black girls. That tells you how many don't date black girls. Like you know that I'm in like a very bad position if I'm looking at stores and I say, "Ooh, I could tell that that one serves coloreds." It means that the majority don't. It means that the majority don't. And you picked him based on no other criteria other than he dates your kind. Now, once again, I doubt that this story is true. But even in her lies, it reveals the mentality that's going on.
He had a piece of chain on, okay? And he had a little swag to him. Now he had like the little cupcake haircut that white boys have, like the Justin Bieber haircut. But I walked right up to him. I literally walked right up to him and I said, "How you doing? What's your name?" And he told me his name. I'm not gonna say his name. And I said, "I'm such and such." I was like, "How old are you?" He was like, "I'm 16." I was like, "Well, I'm 17. Do you have a girlfriend?" He was like, "No." I was like, "You want to go out with me sometime?" He was like, "Yeah, what's up?" So we exchanged numbers just like that. I gave him my number and we literally went on our first date that very next weekend on a Saturday, of course. Um, we went to the mall and we went to get something to eat. I think we went to like Chili's or something like that. Obviously, he paid. Um, and it was my first experience out with a white boy. And let me tell you something, the world let me know.
Mm-hmm. What did it let you know?
The world let me know
What did it let you
that I was with a white boy. And I'm not going to talk about what happened.
What she's referring to is attention. See, she's trying to sell the concept of being with a white dude to black women. So though she complains about it, like, oh, the world let me know. The world let me know that, oh, the white girl, because, in 2000 whatever, people are hung up on interracial relationships. Like, it was like Emmett Till. No, it wasn't. Nobody cared. And I don't care where in America you live. Nobody cared. Okay, people in the chat, because y'all from all over these 50 states. Has anybody ever told you that they seen an interracial couple as if it was news? Anybody ever come home and say, hey, Cortez, hey, guess what, man? You'll never believe what I seen today. You won't believe the stuff that I seen today, man. Man, I'm telling you, you won't believe what I seen. Oh, for real? What you seen? I seen a white dude with a black girl. What else did you see? That's pretty much it, man. Can you believe that? Like, yes, because I didn't live under a rock for the past 100 years. What? What? So now we know she's lying, but she wants to make it up because they want their relationship to be seen. So she's like, "Hey, if you want to make people jealous and piss people off, then walk around the mall with a white guy because nobody has ever done that before."
in this video because I want to get to the cute part. But
Okay.
I'll come back to a different video and talk about that. But anyway, that was my first date with a white boy. And we probably talked for maybe like a couple weeks. And then I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if he stopped talking to me or if I stopped talking to him.
Um, because the story's made up, and you don't really in your made up story, you don't really want to have a negative aspect to it. I mean, no matter what, y'all broke up somehow. It didn't work out because you're not married. So you don't want to make the white dude look bad, the fictitious white dude look bad. So you just like, well, I don't know how it ended, but it ended. Okay.
But I started dating another white guy. Okay. But let me get to the cute part of the story. Let me get
How did that one end?
to the point of the story. Somewhere around 2010, 2011, I went to like a Ace Hardware store or something like that because I was looking for an electrical heater because it was wintertime and I wanted a little heater, a space heater. So I walk up in this.
I haven't been to Ace Hardware in a very, very, very long time, and I did not know that they had electrical heaters. Quite frankly, I didn't know that Home Depot had them either. I see like those outside fire pits, which look nice, but I actually have one built into my home, so I don't really like need what you're going through. Like, okay, so someone lives in a cabin without a man to chop wood for them, so they need an electrical heater. Like what what in the not paying your gas bill is going on in your house? Anyway,
Place and I'm walking down the aisles and here comes this white man.
mm-hmm,
He comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I know you from somewhere."
mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Who are you?"
This is a
He was
completely true
like, he
story.
told me his name. He was like, "Did you go to such and such school?" And I was like, "Yes."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Yeah, you remember when you approached me and asked me if I had a girlfriend?" I was like, "Oh my God." I knew right away who he was. And he just gave me just the sweetest hug. And we just had our moment. And then he pulls out his wallet and he shows me a picture of his beautiful daughter who is half black.
Oh wow, he keeps it in his wallet. That's modern. I mean, it's 2010. He's walking around with pictures in his wallet. That's okay. That's believable, right?
And I looked at him and I said, I knew you were gonna have half black kids, and I knew you were gonna date black women. He was like, I've always dated black women. That's why when you approached me, it was nothing new. See, he was 16 at the time and I was 17. He was my first white boy experience, but I wasn't the first black girl he'd ever dated. He started dating black girls when he was like 12.
Mhm.
Okay. So he was already new, he was already on that type of time. But I just thought that was so cute when he pulled out his.
Wow, that really says what black women are into. He was dating black girls since he was 12. Like, oh wow, that's okay. Okay.
Photo and showed me a picture of his daughter and she was biracial. And I just said, I knew it. I knew you. He was like, I've always dated black women. Like, that's never going to change. But I remember that. I remember that to this day, and I still smile about that. And I hope he's doing well because he gave me my first experience. And
Okay. Boy, I tell you, black women is they feel validated when they see a biracial daughter. Like, oh, there you go. It's proof. It's proof that a white man fucked me. And they don't even have that because this story is made up.
he made me feel very comfortable. And even though he grew up around black people, he didn't use the N word. He was just authentically who he was.
You think that the reason why this fictitious white man married a black woman is because he grew up around black people? And notice how she didn't see a picture of his wife. In this made up story, he showed her a picture of his daughter. All right, so that's the end of that. Oh, there's another one where she has the same shirt on. Let's see. I haven't seen this one, by the way.
So I wanted to experience I had.
Wow, it's a beautiful experience. We went to the mall and we got some Cinnabon. And yes, you're a grown woman.
With a white boy. Okay. But I remember when I was on that date with him. Like I said, I wasn't the first black girl he ever dated, but he was the first white guy that I had ever dated. So it was brand new to me. And one of the things that I noticed very quickly was how the world treated me, not even him, but how the world treated me versus black men who were
No, they didn't care.
with white women.
There's a lot of lies being told here. There's a lot of lies. You telling me that the world is more forgiving to black men with white women than the other way around? That is bull, if I have ever heard it. Okay, let's talk about lynching. Let's talk about that. Holy crap. How many B dubs were shout out to Ice Cube, Lynch Mob? How many black women did that happen to for being with the white man? I'm curious. I'm curious. Like, oh, how many movies did white men make, like in the 1920s, about black women with white men and made them look like savage apes for it. Like, yeah. And that's just the white men who actually care about that. Now let's talk about the black women who, if they had the ability to LYNCH, they would. And that's all they talk about. Always and forever. She's thinking about you in every little thing that you want to do every day. That's all they think about is black men with white women.
Like nobody told me this. Okay. And see, because he was white, he didn't see that. And that's typical. Like he just dated black girls. He didn't see.
What's the reaction? What's the reaction that you got from black men? You haven't said that. You just said that they were reacting, and they react more to me than other people react to black men when they date white women. That doesn't seem true, and if it were, how would you know? But nevertheless, what was the reaction? Like, was it like a brother walking around with an XXX drug saying, we don't like your kind here, and he said it to you and not him? Like, what was the reaction?
the racial part of it, right? Because he was still young. But I noticed people was looking at me like I was crazy for being with him.
Oh, they gave you
Okay.
a crazy
And
look.
the people who looked the hardest and who had
Was it black men? Was it black men? So basically, the only thing you have to go on is your interpretation of how you were being looked at. Okay.
something to say under their breath was black.
Oh, they were saying something up under their breath. What did they say under their breath that he didn't hear but you did? I'm telling you, they live in this delusional world. They obviously, she's telling this story to trigger black men and to invite other black women to trigger black men. And now she's like, oh yeah, they were triggered because they were mumbling something under their breath. Nobody mumbled anything about your fake 17-year-old self. Dude, if I mumbled something every time I seen it, I would be ludicrous. I would just be like a whole mumble rapper if every time I see like an IR relationship, I mumbled something. They're not doing that. They didn't do that, and you're making this up. I'm not talking because I don't know how old she is, and I really don't care. But like, unless you are like 80 years old or something like that, you're lying right now. Because it didn't happen in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, the teens, and the 20s. You're making this up. This is like that whole "you're pretty for a black girl" that every black girl heard.
Dudes. That's just what it is. Like if I can sum up the people who always had an issue with seeing me with a white guy or Hispanic guy, it's always been black dudes.
It's
Okay.
really
I'm
not.
speaking from personal experience.
No, you're
So
lying.
y'all can do whatever, say whatever you want,
I'm
motherfucker.
saying
I'm
you're
speaking
lying.
from personal experience.
And that's how black women lie. Black men lie like that too. When they know they lie and they know that, people are not going to believe it, they always hide behind, I'm speaking from personal experience. That way it comes off as irrefutable. You can't really refute something that an individual went through. For example, If I want to say engines, engines are savages. They savages. In elementary school, one of them came on a horse and he had a tomahawk and he had feathers in his head and he was swinging his tomahawk at all the little black kids in the school. I'm just talking from my experience. Like, no, I just made something up.
And what that did for me was it made me want to date white guys even more. Let me say that again. The fact that black dudes were able to.
I know it did. That's why you're telling the story. That's why you're making this story up. You're selling the concept of getting underneath black men's skin. That made me want to do it more. Like, yes, I know, because you pick the penis that you suck based on how much it pisses men off. Like, yeah, that's really affecting me, right? Delusion.
Walk around with they little white girls, but then here I am with a white boy. That made.
I thought you said you didn't care about black men with white girls. Trust me, that is all they care about ever. They don't care about being a decent mother. They don't care about being a decent wife. They don't care about being a decent employee. They don't care about being a decent citizen. They don't care about being a decent community member. They don't care about being a decent neighbor. They do not care about anything other than the amount of validation that white women receive versus the amount of validation that they receive.
Me want to do it even more because I'm thinking to myself, why do y'all have an issue with seeing me with a white guy, but y'all sitting up here with white women? So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I kind of became addicted to dating white guys. Like I dated one white guy after the next, after the next, after the next. Like it became a fucking addiction for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. Okay, at 17 years old, yes, I became addicted to it. Like I loved it. I love the attention. I love the stares, baby.
Okay,
I
so
fucking
at least she admitted it. She admitted it that they just love the stares. Even though this story is not true, you love the concept of it. So, black men, now you hear it from the horse face mouth. They do it to get under your skin, and when you ignore them, and they're, because I do, especially if they're 17, because I completely ignore stuff like that. And it's not that I'm doing it on purpose or something I learned in the red pill communities, because I never genuinely cared, especially if I didn't want to do her anyway. And I don't want to do her. And y'all know, even when I don't like them, I do say the ones that I want to hit. And she's not one of them, unfortunately, for herself. We genuinely don't care.
loved it. It did not scare me. It made me want to do it even more. And it's because I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. I'm a person that whatever you tell me not to do, bitch, I'm gonna do it.
White guys love that. White guys love that. All guys love that. I wonder what would she do if somebody walked up to her and said, "Don't suck my penis, penis." I wonder. I wonder what would she do if somebody did that. You bet not suck her. I wonder what she would do.
So nobody said don't date white guys, but the way people looked at me was like, what are you doing
But you said they mumbled.
with him? You understand me? Even black girls. Oh my gosh, you're dating a white guy? And some of these black girls had a brother that was dating a white girl. You ain't asking your brother that question, so why the fuck are you asking me? So the
Because
double
this is made
standard
up.
in our community.
So, your first white guy that you dated was dating black girls since he was 12, yet black women are surprised when they see that type of pairing. Something's not adding up. You obviously come from a place and time where it's commonplace for that to happen because your friend did it commonly, and so did you.
Community when it comes to this, bitch, I will fight this shit for the rest of my life. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because the black community will literally make black women feel like we're doing something wrong for dating out. All the while black men get told to date out. Black men are taught to date out. Black men are pushed to date out.
By black women.
But black women,
We are pushed to date out by black women. And it's not that you're pushed to date out because black women are just so a pleasure to be around. No, you're pushed to date out because they're so obnoxious that you really don't have a choice.
women can't get the fuck out of here, bitch. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I wanna do.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody finna tell me who the fuck I'm gonna date. So he and I, we were too young to.
Did anybody tell you who you're gonna date? Did anyone ever tell you? Did your mama tell you? Better not be bringing home them white boys. You're not even going against the grain.
Actually talk about the racial part of it. He just knew he liked black girls and that was it. And it was my first time dating a white guy, so I didn't know what to expect. But when I started noticing that I was getting a lot of attention from dating white guys, I did it more.
You didn't get a lot of attention.
Don't bitch, don't tell me what I ain't gonna do, bitch. I'm gonna do it even more. I'm gonna throw it in your face even more, like I did. And I'm so proud of myself that I had the courage to do that. I'm so proud of myself that I had the courage to do that and still got the courage to do that today.
Oh my gosh, you called it courage. Literally nobody cares. Okay, I want you to think about the whole concept of a real true PIMP. Do you think they care? They literally send their girls out for that reason.
Like I said, I'm talking to a Hispanic dude. Y'all can stare all y'all want. You're not scaring nobody over here.
No one is staring.
I'm not new to this shit, bitch. I'm true to it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with black women. Like the stares that y'all get, baby, suck that shit up. Embrace it. And as a matter of fact, kiss your man. When people start staring real hard, because that's what I used to do. Like when people be staring at me and a white boy, I would turn to him and start kissing him. Bitch, I'm gonna put on a show. That's how petty I am. Bitch, I'll give your ass something to look at. Okay? That's the type of time I'm on. Okay? So yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all.
Okay, and she's stereotypically ghetto. To just top off everything else. All right, let's see. Let me see this one. Actually, I've seen part of this one. Let me see this one.
Let me tell y'all something. Once you start feeling sorry for a man, already lost the war. Amongst all the things I've learned about men in my life,
Okay, first of all, I knew that she had a terrible shape. I knew that she had a terrible shape, and there it is. The gut and the saggy titties. Secondly, she admits that she's at war. All of this is just war tactics and blah, 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 not to be taken seriously. Fellas, the way to win the war is to just ignore crap like this. This is her war effort. It's like, okay, your war is to go around sucking light penis so I can get jealous. I could just not depolice him and go on about my business. And really, and I was doing this way before the red pill. I kind of noticed some black chicks was doing that. Like, they would get like, they would like intensify the PDA. In fact, I seen it at Circuit. That's how long ago this was. This was at Circuit City. For those of you who don't know, that's a place like Good Guys that, or Best Buy, something like that, that went out of business years ago. It's like, okay, it's obvious what you're doing. You're obviously looking for my attention, and of course, I just ignored them, and that's that. Because they got they got to deal with the fact that they did all this to upset you, and when you're not upset, it just it just kills. It's like, oh man, I've been sucking this penis and pretending to be Sally Hemings every night for nothing. Like, yeah, yeah, pretty much. Oh, actually, let me share something with you. Because remember, she say that nobody talks about black men when they mess with white women, right? So let's scroll down some. Oh, she has a video entitled Tommy Sotomayor. Okay, I don't really. I'm not gonna click that one. Happy Mother's Day. I wonder if she's a single mother as well. She was in the diaper section in the first video that I seen of hers. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, here we go.
my closest friend just sent me this on here. And I just want y'all to know it's the accuracy for me. It's the accuracy. My closest friend just sent me this on here. And I just want y'all to know it's
Okay. I thought you don't really think about interracial relationships like that, as it pertains to black men and white women. See, this is how you know. Okay, here's what goes on when you have people with limited imaginations. Um, they make terrible storytellers, and here's how. And you'll notice this when you watch movies. If you come to my movie nights and stuff, you'll notice what makes a good movie. And what really makes a good movie is dynamic characters. Even though the writer And let's just say one of the better writers, like George R. R. Martin, even though he is a older white man, he still writes roles from a woman's point of view, from a mother's point of view, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He writes sub stories with that. And maybe there's bits and pieces of himself in some of the characters, but not all of the characters because they're just vastly different. And if so, it's a very small piece of himself in the character. However, with her, she puts the entire self into each of her characters when she tells of her lies. That story was a lie. The part about black men looking and mumbling under their breath, that's a lie. That's how she will behave in that situation. If she were a black man and she's seeing that, that's how she will behave because she actually has issues with interracial relationships as evidence from what you see on your screen. She assumed that black men would feel the same way, so she goes overboard with that and makes a plum fool of herself in the process. So take a look at this. It says, "Can you look for a job today?" And his response. Now, it's weird that they're thinking it and not saying it, you know, to each other. But nevertheless, yeah, he's thinking, "Can I borrow your car?" as opposed to asking her. She's thinking, "Can you look for a job today?" as opposed to asking him to look for a job. And the kids are saying, I miss our real dad." And even though, yeah, an idiot did this. So maybe everyone here is telepathic. "I miss our real dad." And then the little girl responds, "He'll never take her back now." Okay, obviously your real dad isn't paying child support now, is he? Ever notice how black women complain that they take the best black men, but when they choose to depict interracial relationships, it's this? Ever notice that? Ever notice how they complain about Jamie Foxx, but then they depict this? There's a lot of lies being told in the black community. There's a lot of lies. Okay, now let's go back to the top. Usher, Chris Brown. Holy crap! More Asian men should date black women. Let's take a look at this. Y'all are desperate AF. It's hilarious. It's hilarious watching y'all. Okay.
I mean, he ain't lying, right? He's not lying at all. On average, we don't give a fuck about it. Asian motherfuckers be at the bottom in terms of the dating market, but guess what? I'm not finna let that shit stop me. You know why? Cause shooters shoot. And guess what? If you're not gonna shoot the shot, you was never gonna get shit. I don't give a fuck if I'm Asian. I don't give a fuck about it. I know most of my shots is not going in because I like women that's not Asian. But guess what? I'm still gonna try, motherfucker. Shooters gonna shoot. I'm not gonna let rejection get the best of me. I'm not gonna put my head down. I'm not gonna stop trying. Just gotta get turned down a few goddamn times. Hell nah, bro. Most of my shots is not going in. But does Steph Curry make all his shots? No. And he's the greatest shooter of all time. So to all my Asian men out there, please understand that if you don't make no goddamn moves, if you don't shoot your shot, you was never gonna get shit.
Shout out to this handsome young Asian man. I love how
This is terrible. They love making fools of themselves. They're looking for a market of men that nobody else wants. and they're still losing in that market. All other women got to do is want them. And this dude said nothing about black women.
Never gonna get shit.
Shout out to this handsome young Asian man. Um, I love how he said that shoot or shoot, and unless you are, out there talking to women as an Asian man, you're never gonna get anything unless you get out there and try. And he was absolutely correct about that. And I want to go just a little bit more into that. I remember some years ago when Issa Rae from Insecure suggested that Asian men and Black women get together. And I remember the backlash that she got from that because at the end of the day, she was telling the truth. Okay. She was simply saying that in our respective communities, Asian men um, are less desirable than Asian women, and Black women are less desirable than Black men. So she
Hmm. Okay, let me take a deep breath on this. You cannot compare desirability between men and women. You just can't. Women are always going to win that. Women are always going to win that because of the male sex drive. I don't even know what she's talking about. Asian men are less desirable than Asian women. Every man is less desirable than women. Quite frankly, if black women are the only group of women that are less desirable than their men, then they are the most pathetic females to have ever had tits.
men are less desirable than Black men. So she was saying that, why don't we get together? And to me, that made perfect sense.
Okay.
I agreed with her back then, and I still agree with her now. And
Okay,
funny
then
enough,
get with
I
him.
am
Get with
starting
him.
to see more Asian
No,
men
you're not.
and Black women getting together. Now,
No, you're not.
obviously, it's in small doses. There
No, you're
are
not.
a few couples that I follow right now that are Asian men and Asian women. One of the couples just had a baby, and the baby's so cute. But
Okay. The fact that you're stalking interracial relationships online really says it really it says it speaks volumes about how pathetic you are. It really does.
the baby's so cute.
And it's suspect that you are attracted to their baby. I wait
How
until
much Asian men
I wait until half black Filipino girls turn into women before I become attracted to them.
and Black women are like, in a sense, where they are both very educated. Okay. Asian men and Black women are extremely educated.
These are two completely different type of educations. These are two completely different types of education. Okay, so here, let me just say, how much did Mike Tyson weigh in his prime? All right, so um, typically he ran between 215 and 220 in his prime. If you see a dude, a Homer Simpson shaped dude, And he said, I also weigh 220. These are completely different 220s. These are completely different 220s. What you are talking about between Asian men education and black women education, we know they're not the most educated. Just saying. We have debunked that 10 ways till Sunday. But Asian men actually are educated, and they have what's called a functional education, as opposed to an education for the sake of saying I am educated. Two completely different types of educations.
And they also are very loyal to their counterparts, which presents a problem. Okay. Asian men are way more loyal to Asian women than Asian women are to Asian men. Asian women are way more likely to date outside the race than Asian men are. That is a fact.
That's not loyalty, that's opportunity. Just like black men and black women. Like y'all call that loyalty, but it's really opportunity. Black men have greater opportunity to do so. Black women don't have that opportunity. I mean, look at you. Apparently, you've been at it since you were 17, but here you are.
And of course, we already know that black women are way more loyal to black men than black men have ever been to us.
Ah, there she
Black men
go.
date outside the race.
I haven't seen this one before, but there you go. We're way more loyal to you. It's not loyalty. It's not loyalty. Listen, okay, okay. I use this analogy a lot, and I'm going to use it again right now. When a person says something like, okay, imagine if Coke said that these people are not drinking Pepsi, therefore they're loyal to Coke. That's one possibility. But is Coke sales going up? See, it's not that they're loyal to Coke. It's not that black women are loyal to black men. If so, then there will be relationships. How you gonna be? How can a single person be loyal to some? I mean, you're loyal to nothing. Black women, if you're single, you're loyal to no one. Not dating white men doesn't make you loyal to black men. Being with black men loyally is being loyal to black men. Your divorce rate don't suggest loyalty, and your marriage rate don't suggest loyalty. You actually have to be with someone to say that you are loyal to that person. Ah,
More than all other groups of men combined. That's how self-hating black men are. And I'm going to continue to say that out loud because I want black women to understand that your group of men hate you more than anybody else. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna speak the truth. If you don't like it, you can get off my shit. So with that being said, it would only make sense for more black women and Asian men to consider dating each other because they already both are very loyal.
it don't make sense to Asian men. It does not. Even the one that you showed, he wasn't professing his love for black women. He was really talking about shooting his shot at anything. Ah,
And so the probability of them having a longer lasting relationship would be, to me, more ideal. The first date I went on with an Asian man, I was 15. It was actually a double date, and I didn't even know he was Asian. Like the girl that set us up on a double date did not tell me that the men were Asian.
So that was actually my
Okay. I could have swore that in the previous video she said that her first dealing with a white man was when she was 17, and prior to that it was nothing but black men. I could have swore that was the case. So now she's about to make up another story. Okay.
first experience with a man that wasn't black, and it was a double date. And I remember how uncomfortable I felt because I wasn't used to that. I didn't expect that, but we ended up having a good time, right? And then uh, my first, my second date with an Asian man, I think I was around 19, and he was Vietnamese. I'm definitely open to it. Um, and the Vietnamese guy was very handsome. I remember that. And he was tall.
Of course.
I remember that. And here's what I need black women to start getting out
He
of
was
your
tall like
mind.
his tail.
I know to a lot of black women, SMEX is very important to a lot of y'all. And so you start trying to visualize what you think another race of man's private parts is going to look like, and
Holy crap.
what size it is and all
Holy
that.
crap.
Black women, I need y'all to get out of that. I need y'all to find a way to get out of that, because once you start paying more attention to a man's character, regardless of race, and you realize that this,
Shouldn't you be paying attention to your own character? Because you just said that you were defiant for the sake of being defiant. But now she's saying ignore the small penis. Okay. This is I'm glad I clicked on her TikTok. I really am.
is a decent man, when it's time to go there with him, trust me, that's going to be the last thing that you're going to be worried about. And I am speaking as a woman who has dated outside of my race, who has been intimate with men outside of my race. I'm telling you, that's going to be the last thing that you're concerned about.
Why do so many decent men pump and dump you? That's a fair question, right? I mean, so far we're talking about four before you're before you're 20. Yeah, I dated the Asian guy when I was 15, and then pump and dump, and then the white guy when I was 17, then pump and dump, and then another white guy pump and dump, and then an Asian guy pumping, then a Vietnamese guy, and he was tall. But don't worry about physical appearance. But he was tall and handsome. And yeah, all those relationships just didn't work out, and I've been dating interracially ever since because I know it pisses off black men, and they're decent guys. They're very, very decent guys. They're just not decent enough to marry me. But don't worry about your own gratification. Just worry about pissing black men off.
That you're concerned about. Black women focus too much on the package.
Mm-hmm.
And respectfully, that's why a lot of y'all are losing,
And you're winning.
because you focusing on how big it is,
And
and
you're winning.
worried about if another group of men gonna be able to put it down the way that a black man does. Until y'all get that type of mindset out of your mind, you're gonna continue to struggle with black men. I'm just telling y'all. So I do think that more black women should consider Asian men.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Um, It is, and like I said, I'm starting to see those couples more, Asian men and black women. I'm starting to see them more.
No, you're
They're
not.
still relatively small.
No, you're not. You're going online looking for them and stalking their kids. You're not seeing them if you have to look for them. That's like going into Irish field or something, looking for four-leaf clovers and saying, "I'm starting to see more four-leaf clovers."
More. They're still relatively small, but I'm starting to see them more. So they are increasing, even just by a little bit, but they are increasing. And so just something to consider, y'all. Okay. That was a handsome Asian man in the video. And clearly he's dated black women. You could tell by the way he talks. So anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
You can tell by the way he talks that he dated black women. Let's listen to how he talk. Let's let's see what a man who dates black women sound like. Let's listen to this one more time. Just one more again.
I mean, he ain't lying, right? He's not lying at all. On average, we don't got that many options compared to black or white men on average in America. But guess what, motherfucker? I don't give a fuck about it. Asian motherfuckers be at the bottom in terms of the dating market. But guess what? I'm not finna let that shit stop me. You know why? Because shooters shoot. And guess what? If you're not going to shoot.
Oh, oh, he's desperate and he'll fuck anything. That is what it sounds like when a man messes with black women. Desperation and no standards. Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. Let's see if I go. This she's interesting. Oh, look, she has a picture with a black Barbie and a white Ken because she has a normal brain. Let's take a click on this.
know I've been gone for a minute, but welcome back. Should we just get the chicken salad and just call it a day?
Yeah, that sounds about right, honey. Yeah, I'll take the tuna fish as well. That sounds really good.
Yo, check this out, Tyrone. Motherfucking white boy. One of ours. Ain't that some shit? The fuck they doing together? Yeah, Marquise. These white boys getting too comfortable, thinking they could just lay out. Fuck going on here? I don't know, man. Let's go talk to him and see what's up then. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you all right? Is this
Holy
gentleman
crap!
bothering you?
Oh crap!
Gentlemen, this is my husband.
Can I help you guys, sir?
No, you could just be quiet. I mean, are you a police officer?
Well, what?
I am not a police officer. I'm actually having lunch with my wife. Is there something I can help you boys with? Boys? Did you just call us boys? Nigga, you see?
Oh, I gotta pause. I gotta pause. I gotta. Holy crap! Black women are nuts. She is nuts. She is nuts. She is an adult female playing with dolls. And this is her fantasy. So if y'all didn't believe me, if y'all didn't believe me when I told y'all she made up the earlier story, there is no greater proof than this. She's making, because this is the same thing about the story she told about when she dated the dude when she was 17. This is the same story, just played out with Barbie dolls. Wow. Wow. I can't believe the level of psychological damage that's going on amongst black women.
This shit? white boys getting real comfy. Yeah, I see this shit. Excuse me. If you guys do not leave my table this instant, I will call the police.
Oh, all right then. All right then, cool. We'll leave. It's cool. I just want to say one more thing to your wife. If he go to chopping your ass up, don't call the black man for help. I just want to let you know that.
Get your ass out of here.
Oh, no, honey. Let me ask him this.
She's even doing different
Do you
voices.
have that same energy for black men? Alive black women? Yeah. That's
Holy crap, this is her fantasy. This is what she does when she's not on TikTok. Because she has those dolls. These dolls aren't rented. She actually has those dolls. And she has the doll house. And holy crap. Holy crap. I will never, ever, ever forget this. These women are completely, totally insane.
what the fuck I thought. Get your ass on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
And here she is with the bonnet. Okay.
that'll do it for this episode of Negroes Can't Seem to Mind Their Business When They See Black Women Being Taken Care of. Have a good one.
Why don't you show this in real life? Why don't you take your kin and show this happened in real life? Because it doesn't happen in real life. Not to you, only to few. Let me read the comments to this madness. This is madness. Holy crap. I love that the voices are so perfect. Ken stood on business. OMG, girl. Love it. That was a good one. LOL. Great episode. But they are nuts. They are nuts. Not being first choice have driven them into complete and total madness. Girl, I've been waiting. Love these. I love it when she do this regular. I love it when you do these. She do this regular. You should make a series. Only they want to see a grown woman playing with Ken dolls. This is Chi Chong. LOL. LOL. What? This was funny. Yes, it was. I got it. This was funny. This is too funny. You mean TOO, but okay. This is too TO funny. All right. Been waiting for this episode. Do another episode with biracial girl with a black mom versus one with a non-black mom. Okay. Okay. That's the next one. Stay tuned. Oh, I got it here. I hope you already have the doll and you didn't go out and buy another one. Wow. Holy crap. So that's a thing that she does. All right. What did you do last weekend? It will be something so weird that you that you wouldn't know how to respond. Like, oh wait, okay, I gotta see this one.
She says, Black men are attracted to this. And let me show y'all who made this comment. This is a white woman who made this comment.
Where in the fuck is her neck or her chin? I mean, or the area between the neck and the chin. What is going on there? She is unuppercuttable. What? Okay. Okay, well now we see the type of white woman that watches you. Okay, let's see.
And that matters. Okay. And I'm going to explain why that matters. It matters because I can appreciate the white tea women who can be honest about Black men. Okay. If y'all scroll on her comment, it's a video talking about how much white tea women love Black men and they're just eating it up in the comment section. Okay. Talking about Black men's swag and how they look and their skin and all this. But this
Let's not forget the penis.
comment was more honest. And that's why I respect you for this comment.
You respect anyone who said something
Because
negative about
one
black
thing
men.
people don't want to be honest about is the fact that most Black men are not good men.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. It doesn't matter how attractive they are. And I will never take that away from Black men. I date all races of men. I am currently seeing a man that is not Black, but I am still attracted to Black men. Black men are the most attractive men as a collective group.
Your words are true.
But who they are and how they treat women, that's where that ugly heart comes in. They're not the best men.
Yes,
And
we
that's
are.
something that people are afraid to.
Yes, we are. Personality wise as well. We are him. And you know it. You know it. You try to do everything you can within your power to make us not him. You tell us to do weird stuff like sag our pants and gold our teeth, and we're still him. You encourage brokenness. We're still him. And you know it.
Be honest about. But as a Black woman, I'm going to speak on my own group of men because I have that right. So your comment was the most honest comment on that thread because you didn't just go for the looks of Black men. You actually went
Obviously, a woman with no damn chin or whatever, she has no, what's that called? She has no jawbone. That's what it is. She has no jawbone. Like her chin goes directly into her neck. Of course, she's probably not gonna get the best treatment. Of course. Like I roasted her on site. Like, I mean, that is what it is. Like, I mean, yeah. Oh, the patriarchy. Yes, of course. Offer realization. Happy Mother's Day. The audacity of a man to complain about dating. Stop it, sir. Nah, not gonna watch that. Let's see. The Asian lady took good care of my feet, and she took good care of my penis. What's your point? All right. So we're back to the top. That's good. Shout out to Rayama. He had a video earlier about what was it about? About that Chud guy. So salute to him.
I think one of the biggest things that is so hard for Black women to accept is that Black men as a collective group do not care about you
Hold on.
the way that you care about them.
All right. Somebody said, "Why would I have raw SC triple X with a woman with no chin?" Okay, listen. Because you have to, because she can't deep throw. Oh, I see that opportunity. I couldn't resist. All right, all right. Let's continue.
And this is why I advise Black women to look into our history, to go back, go backwards,
Terrible shape.
because history will tell you everything you need to know.
What do you need to know?
Black men are known to have been treasonous
Gossip
on
is
the
not history.
plantation. They were selling us out back then when everything first got started. So, what that means is
Treasonous on the plantation. Let me see if my definition of treason is what I think it is. Because if it is, then that sentence makes no sense. Yeah, treason, the act of betraying one's country. That's what I thought it meant. Black men were being treasonous on the plantation. I don't even know how that could possibly make any sense whatsoever. Unless you're a person that just makes up words and throw them in sentences. By the way, this is Obsidian Empress. Obsidian from time to time like to pretend like he's a woman and comment on women like this is Paige.
essentially Black men as a collective group have never been loyal. There's not a time in history where Black men have ever been loyal as a collective group. It's never happened.
There has never been a time in history when any man has been loyal as a collective group. What in the hell are you talking about? Go to Brazil, look at the women, and ask them how loyal were their great 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 grandfathers. Obviously not. My head hurt.
So when you look at things today and you listen to the songs and you look at the
I
videos,
don't listen
the
to
rap
women.
videos, I remember when I was in my early 20s, um, all of the songs that I liked, I stopped liking when I actually saw the videos. Okay. When I would watch the music videos and I would see how blatantly colorist Black men were,
Holy crap!
always putting light skin on a pedestal, mixed race women on a pedestal, saying, giving shots.
She's light skinned. She's the only one I want. You see, kind of like how you like to trigger black men by your interracial relationships. Perhaps they like to trigger black women without having to suck a penis.
outs to white women in their songs. Okay. It started to dawn on me, wow, these dudes really don't like us. Okay. This was over 20 something years ago. So, and I was also putting that together with the talk shows. Remember, I told you guys I used to watch all the talk shows when I was in my early 20s. Jenny Jones, Maury Povich, Montel Williams show, Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Dang, she's old. You watched Sally Jesse Raphael in your 20s? Hold on. When did Sally, Jesse, Raphael get canceled. All right, let's see. So it got canceled May 24th, 2002, and it ran 19 years before that. So you were in your 20s in 2022. Yeah, yeah, old, old.
Jerry Springer. I've watched every talk show that ever existed. And I remember watching those talk shows and seeing how black men would come on there and just be so disrespectful to black women. They were very open about their love, so called love. Okay. Now we know it was never love, but they were so open about their disdain towards black women, and they would flaunt white tea women in front of our faces on those talk shows. I remember seeing that. And remember, I told you guys when I was in high school is when I noticed black boys dating white girls. And I went to a very diverse high school. So it's not like there were no black girls for them to date. There were so
Weren't you dating Asian and white guys in high school?
went to a very diverse high school. So it's not like there were no black girls for them to date. There were so many of us. They were just choosing to date white girls.
Yes.
And so I
Once again, notice how they pretend to not care, but it just rings in her soul, and she thinks that we think the same way.
like there were no black girls for them to date. There were so many of us. They were just choosing to date white girls. And so I then started dating white guys.
Mhm.
Okay. That was my reaction to that. If black guys can do it, then black girls should be able to do it too. And so I did it. And I have no regrets. So
You're in your 40s now, and really, no regrets. You've been spite dating for at least 20 years now, maybe even 30, and you really have no regrets.
I'm going to talk just about myself when I say this. For me, seeing how so many black men just do not care about the community, they don't care about black women, they don't care about black girls, they never really cared about our feelings. It's always literally been about them. For me, that made me go into protect myself mode, right? So I've never been a black woman who fought for black men. There has never been a time in my life where I was like, we got to help black men. We got to.
We don't expect you to. We don't really want your help. I mean, of course, in a mother son relationship, but generally speaking, we don't really want your help. It's not like I get a flat tire and say, I hope there's a black woman around. We don't. And what's worse is that we don't expect it, like at all. So, yeah. And I mean that in a very real way. Like, if I were getting robbed by non black guys, because you would call the cops if they were black, because you would be calling them on a black man. But we're getting robbed by a non black guy or jumped or something like that. After it's done, I look up and say, I wouldn't even look to you and say, did you call the cops? Because I know you didn't. I remember one time um, I was late for a flight. And yes, this was a, international excursion, right? But I was leaving from Oakland International, which means that it's almost certain. In fact, it definitely did have a connecting flight somewhere. Typically, it's Arizona, Texas, or Miami, depending on what part of South America I'm going to. And I was running a little late and went to the counter, where you check your bags, and I was like, hey, um, can I have my boarding pass? I don't want to use the machine because you're right here and it's no line. So she was like, oh no, you're supposed to get here like an hour before, and it's 58 minutes. And she's like, well, it's too late now. This is a black chick, and then a white woman came along and said, well, why don't you just do that? And I don't know what that is because I'm not a ticket agent. But apparently that would allow me. She said, do you want to check your bags? I was like, no, I don't need to check my bags. She was like, okay, well, you got to run. It's like, okay, fine. And of course, I made my flight. I don't expect you to help, even when it's your job to help. And it's not that black men don't recognize women as helpmates. We just don't recognize black women as sufficient helpmates. In fact, the only time you're helpful is when you're trying to harm us, meaning that you're helpful to others to spite us. And that's really, and it's not just black men that feel that way. That's pretty much like men in general that feel that way about you. They don't expect you to be decent wives and mothers. They most certainly don't expect you to be helpmates. Men do not expect to be better off while in a relationship with you. For example, y'all know that letter that the white woman was writing to her sister about how to attract a black athlete? And, she was saying, do his homework, wash his clothes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That means he is better as a result of being with her. Nobody expects that from you. What men do expect is rationed off pussy. What is rationed off pussy, GC? Well, I'm glad you all asked. Rationed off pussy is when a woman is fucking you just enough to say that she's fucking you. It's not a surplus. It's not like you get it anytime you want to. You just get it every now and again. Just enough so you don't leave. Or just enough so they can say that you're getting it more than you did if you weren't with her. But it's the bare minimum. Why? Because it's all they have. And they have to give it to you sparingly.
Fix it. We got to support them. We got to protect them. I don't give a fuck about black men as a collective group.
That's good.
The same way they feel about black women as a collective is how I feel about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, but that is what has saved me.
From what?
The fact that I don't care about black men as a collective group.
That
has saved me and made my life very peaceful. I really want y'all to understand that. Because one thing I know about men, amongst so many other things I've learned, is that you cannot make a man.
When black women say peaceful, they mean lonely.
You can't make a man be something and do something that they don't want to do. So if the collective of black men do not care about the community, if they don't care about black girls, if they don't care about checking each other when they do certain things to black women, there's nothing you can do as a black woman.
When people like her and people like O'Shea and Umar say the community, I used to be like, what the fuck are they talking about? I would really be like, what in the hell are they talking about? And now I get it. They're talking about black women. And really, they're talking about themselves. You see, when you are not a lovely person and you know a person can't love you, you hope that they love what you are, not who you are, what you are a part of, not who you are. It's like, wait a minute, do you love me or do you love the community? Perfect example. And I didn't understand this when I was a kid. I just thought he was just on some G stuff. And he is a G. Shout out to Dean, Big Brother Almighty. Shout out to Dean, Big Brother Almighty. So, in the movie School Days, Dean, Big Brother Almighty, had a girlfriend played by Tisha Campbell. I think her name was Jane or Jenny or something like that, right? And she was loyal. She was, on some for real pick me stuff. And then at the end, he gave her a test. And I'll never forget these words. Even though I didn't get it because I seen it when I was a kid, he said, "Do you love me?" She said, "Yes." "Do you love Dean, Big Brother Almighty?" Now you see, that's his fraternity name. That's not his actual name. His actual name was Julian. And she said, "Yes." "Do you love Gamma Phi Gamma?" And the answer was also yes. So he sent her to let a pledge hit it, and she did. And he responded, and I swear I didn't get this when I was a kid. I was like, why do you do that? I was like, that's gangster. But why do you do that? Because she didn't love him. She loved Gamma Phi Gamma. And if you watch the movie again, and I recommend everybody do, you'll see that even when she was SE Triple X with him, she was looking at his brands, at his tattoos and stuff. See, she didn't love him, she loved what he was, and that is the leader of that Greek community in the school. Very smart dude, because he's like, I'm about to graduate. Like, I mean, this whole G5G thing is about to end. But that's the kind of love she's looking for. Really, she'll take any type of love that she can get, because quite frankly, I don't think that she's ever been loved by a non-family member a day in her life. Ever. That's the sad truth of it. But she'll accept somebody loving their community enough.
There's nothing you can do. Black men have to want to be better on their own. And that is what I think Black women are having a hard time understanding. Black men have to want to become better men on their own. You shouldn't have any part to play in that. I do not want any Black man that does not want to be a better man. I do not want any Black man who is interested in dating outside the race. If that's what he likes, leave him over there. I'm not interested in changing his mind. I'm not interested in helping a black man build, because the black
Ugh. So basically, she's saying that if you ever date a white woman, then she's not interested in you. But she dates men of all different ethnicities, and she's currently doing so now. You see the hypocrisy? You ever notice how black women and white men are the only ones who behave that way? Once you go black, you can't come back. That's what white men say to white women. Truth of the matter is that that type of union really scares both parties because they understand what it's built on. They understand that that's a very strong connection that they can't compete with on either side. They white men understand that if a black woman, or excuse me, if a white woman is attracted to black men, then a white man won't be able to compete in the areas that she is attracted to. And quite frankly, if a black man is attracted to white women, it means that he's looking for certain qualities like cooperation, submission, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that black women are unwilling to compete in.
men out here who actually care and want to build and respect black women and want care about the community and want to see better, they're gonna show you.
Community is just a rallying call to get discount dick and pussy. That's why when Umar and stuff say that, it's like, yeah, it's about the community. Suck one for the nation. All that stuff. That's just so you can get somebody within the community at a discount.
You're not gonna have to do anything. They're going to prove that to you. They're going to be working each and every day to show you that they are different. They are going to purposely set themselves apart from the rest. You're not going to have to do anything as a black woman.
What are you trying to do?
And that is what y'all need to understand. Stop.
You're not. What does she mean when she say anything? Like, first of all, why do you want to do nothing in a relationship, and why would a man wants to be with a woman that don't want to do anything? This is holy crap. These are trash women. I swear.
Trying to fix these dudes. Stop trying to advocate for these dudes. Stop making excuses for black men. Let them go. The best message you can send a man is letting they bitch ass go.
Hmm.
That's the best message you could ever send a man. Because the more black women try to get together and work with black men, the less black men are going to try. In my opinion,
Thanks for telling black women not to work with us. Y'all, it's like they like being in last place. It's like an Olympic medalist that just or an Olympic candidate that during the race they just stop and tie their own shoes and then run the opposite direction around the track. It's like you don't want to win.
black women need to step away and focus on us and focus on your daughters. That's what we need to.
Translation: figure out a way to have kids out of wedlock and then blame the black men for having a black daughter out of wedlock, and somehow make sure it's a daughter, and instill the same issues that I have onto the daughter.
As black women. Black men need to go somewhere to another planet and figure out what they're going to do on their own. That has nothing to do with black women.
This is my planet, bitch. Get out. If you want to separate, fine, but this is my motherfucking planet. And that includes the moon too, bitch. That's right, the moon is in my planet's property line. You wig wearing alien, you. Fuck you. This is my planet. Get out.
Because I am not interested in changing the mindset of self-hating niggas.
That's good.
I have no interest in them. I don't care nothing about them.
That's good.
I never have, and I never will. And that is why when I get on this app and I jump into people's lives, or I'm on live and black men want to come into, the live and say what we need to do to make the community better, the first thing I tell him is, I don't care about what black men are doing.
Good.
I'm telling you that I don't care. Let these niggas burn and crash. I care about black women and black girls because there's nothing more that we can do. Black women have already shown too much. We've done too much. We've loved way too long. We've forgiven.
There's nothing more than you can do than absolutely nothing. I mean, you decided to hate black men at 15, so it's not like you're really giving them a chance. And you have done nothing since then. I mean, what, did you get your heart broken at 14? You've done nothing and you deserve nothing. And you're getting nothing from all groups of men.
We've pacified, we've coddled.
You've
It's
done
time
those
for
things.
black women to walk away. We should have been walked away. And I'm angry at our ancestors, the black women who didn't walk away, to be honest with you. I would like to have a conversation with a lot of the black women from the 1920s and black women who didn't.
I wish your mother walked away from your father, that's for damn sure.
Walk away, to be honest with you. I would like to have a conversation with a lot of the black women from the 1920s and ask them, why didn't y'all walk away when you first noticed that black men were betraying us? Why didn't you walk away then?
Because they weren't betraying
That's
us.
a question that I would have for them.
Because they weren't betraying us.
So
that's the answer
I'm
they have
not
for
interested.
you. That's the answer they would have for you. They weren't being betrayed. Idiot. Yeah, that's, they were like in the middle of the whole Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma type deal. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's what they would say to you.
In helping black men to become better men. I'm only interested in black men who already have a desire to become better men. You see the difference?
No.
And if once more black women start having the attitude that I have, you gonna see change.
See, what she's talking about, and this is all black women ever do, is this fucking sexual collective bargaining thing that they could do. Like, only thing they could do is try to convince as many black women that they can to induce thirst amongst black men. Like, if we all stop fucking them at the same time, then they'll be better men for our pussy. Because if we stop fucking them, they'll stop fucking white women. because that makes sense to them. It's like, if you do that, we will be forced to start sleeping with white women or anyone who would have us, which we already are, and then y'all get mad again, and then y'all just try to convince more to cut us off, and it's a perpetual cycle that just keeps getting worse every time we do it. For a long time. Wait, testing, testing. Can y'all hear me? Somebody press one because the thing is moving. The echo thing is moving. So testing. Somebody say, okay, great. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the thing. All right. So this one is pinned. Let's see what this older white woman has to say while she sits in a bonnet. Okay. Let's see.
Is it that I do connect with Black men easier than I connect with white men? Yeah. I connect with this and that depth. And I've found that a lot of, the white men that I've dated, it is a lot of performative. And, I appreciate the like honesty and I don't know, there's like a rawness to me. And maybe that's why, maybe it just goes back to my childhood and like yearning for that level of acceptance and realness and just authenticity.
I can tell you
Okay. Before
exactly
she
why.
tells us in her bonnet, I'm gonna speak first. Really, she just seems like she either has a strong physical attraction to black men, like many women do, or she has a deep root or she has deep rooted issues against white men for whatever reason. But this whole the deep connection, whenever it's something that's intangible and um, something that's not even observable, it sounds like crap, and something that's very subjective. But let's see what she has to say. We're gonna find it all.
White women connect with black men. The first reason being the fact that on the social hierarchy, white tea women understand one very important thing, that y'all are more powerful above black men. You understand that
Huh?
being white tea is going to be way more valuable than the black man that you're dating. So, right there, you understand that you are above him. And because you're above him, he's going to worship you. That's what white women understand.
That is projection like a mother. Holy crap. That is projection like I don't know what. Okay. Um, I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, I will say this. It does seem like she's jealous that she feels that black men worship white women, but do you want like a man or do you want a worshiper?
The second thing you understand as a white tea woman is that whatever white tea men do not find attractive about you, because I can already look at you and tell that most white men, the ones who actually matter in society, they're not looking for you.
True. Are they looking for you?
And I know that as a black woman who's dated white men, they're not going to choose you. So because you know that, you already know that black men will. See, that's what you learned. Whatever the white.
Yeah, I mean, okay, there's no secret that black men are not getting the top tier women when they go to other races, which means that they're with the bottom tier women over you. And that's not a coincidence. That's by design, and that's by your design. I mean, this whole low standard thing that black women or that black men have, this is something that's instilled into black men at a very young age. Y'all are the ones that try to convince us to not have standards using words like community. Other women have picked up on that.
Man don't want, the black man will take. You're valuable to black men. And that takes me into the next part of this, where you understand the self hatred that most black men have for their own women, which is why they look for women like you in the first place. Because you represent something that black men will never have: power. You understand that?
I wonder if black women will ever have power. Huh.
Black men feel like they are powerful when they have a woman like you standing by their side.
Yes, a man feels powerful when he has a cooperative, submissive woman at his side. She don't represent that. That's something that she does. It's something you could do, but you won't because you're stupid.
Because most of them are self hating. So as long as you got that white skin, it don't matter what you look like. You're a prize to most black men. Also, I noticed that you said there's an honesty and a rawness about you that white tea men, I guess, don't understand, but that black men do. So you associate being tough and having a plight with black men and trying to act like you have one yourself, even though you don't. In my opinion, white tea women do not have a struggle. There's nothing about y'all that says struggle, other than the way that some of y'all look. But when we talk about your culture, white women ain't never had to struggle.
Remember the white woman with no chin, and she didn't have anything to say about her looks. Notice how a white woman, the quickest way that a white woman could get into the sisterhood is to complain about black men. Ever notice that? Like when a white woman says something nice about black men, she comes for her looks all the time. Like, yeah, but look at you. You didn't say nothing about that other woman's absent chin. That chin did not raise its hand and say present. Eyes here, hair here, nose here, mouth here, jawbone, 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 jawbone. That's you. Or that's her.
As a collective group, because the men that you come from put you on the highest of pedestals, gave you the best protection, so that
As they should. They were the helpmates for world conquest. through thick and thin, through the Black Plague, through the Dark Ages, fall of Rome, like all that. And not to mention that they're still decent wives and mothers. They know this because their father tells them this about their mother. You see, here's the thing: welfare was available to everybody. It's just the black woman that took it in mass and tried to do the independent thing.
That you wouldn't have to. So the fact that you're associating your realness and your rawness with black men is very interesting to me. I find that very interesting. Also, as a black woman who's dated outside of my race,
Holy crap.
I have been around a lot of white tea women who date black men, and I can tell you from personal experience, Smex is probably the number one indicator in y'all's relationship.
She don't even. Dang, this broad just throws words in. Treason, indicator. She just. Sex is the number one indicator. Of the relationship. I think you might mean motivator or unifier, but not indicator or even perpetuator. I'm educated. You're a freaking moron with a Jiffy Pop bag on your head. You cover your hair at night so you can wake up and put a wig on.
It's the biggest thing y'all talk about. White tea women talking about how big his schlong is, and black men talking about
It is pretty big. What's your point?
how good y'all can suck it. So
They do have more enthusiasm. Technique is about the same, if not slightly less. However, enthusiasm, it's top tier, and they beat all women in that regard, including Latin and Asian women. Um, they're the ones that, and I had a real true PIMP tell me this, and I really didn't believe him until I started getting into white women. Um, and he told me this when I was very young. He said, "You gotta get black women to suck your dick. You gotta let white women suck your dick." And I thought it was an exaggeration. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine how true that was. How true what he said was. Um, until they literally asked for permission to do that. I was like, oh, crap. And then when they did it, it was a really grateful sucking. Yeah. Have black women done that? Yes. Um, but the percentage is far, far, far more in favor in white girls.
that's another way that y'all seem to connect. Smack.
Yes. Yes. I, I, I don't know what you. I don't. Nothing you say is going to make me feel ashamed of wanting to put my penis in a white woman's mouth. That's y'all connect sexually. Oh wow. Oh please don't say that. I don't want to mess with them women. What the hell? Yeah, most men like having sexual connections with people, with women that they're attracted to. What's your point?
Sexually, which is honestly fetishization. It's
Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Do I fetishize them? Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember when I first started messing with white girls, I used to deliberately drop. Okay, so I had this cup. It's supposed to be like, because it came with a set that you put your toothpaste holder in, and then part of the set was a little cup, and I think that you're supposed to put your mouthwash in that, but I never did. What I did is instead I put Q-tips in it. So I would brush my teeth, and I would quote unquote accidentally drop the Q. Did I say toothpaste? I meant Q-tips. I would accidentally, quote unquote, accidentally drop the Q-tips. Oh, so y'all know I do. Oh, okay. See, I repeat my stories a lot, so y'all already know. So y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I don't make stuff up. Y'all know I don't make stuff up. So for people who are new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, yeah, I dropped the Q-tips and asked that they pick it up, not knowing they're not knowing that I'm getting off on watching them pick cotton for me. Like, yeah, pick that cotton, pick it, damn it, pick that cotton, and sing some white spirituals, cause I enjoy that shit.
nothing more than fetishization.
Um, I wouldn't say it's nothing more, but sometimes that is part of it, and I don't give a shit.
So we need to be very clear about that. And probably one of the biggest connections that white T women and black men seem to have
Mhm.
is their jealousy and hatred towards black women.
That is a fucking lie. Y'all do not come up in the conversation ever. And we're not the ones out here, kissing the women harder when we see a black woman. Y'all do not come up in the conversation. That song is not about you.
That's the biggest connection y'all have. It's one of the main reasons y'all get together in the first place. But I notice y'all never mention that.
Because we don't. Because it's not a real thing.
Y'all never seem to mention that. And what I find interesting about all the ways that I said that white women and black men connect, which is what you said in the very beginning of the video, with all those ways that y'all seem to connect and like each other, y'all still seem to have the highest divorce rates.
Hmm.
White T women and black men are the most failed relationship. For the most part, y'all don't even last long. So I think it's time that y'all sit with each other and go through all the ways that y'all actually connect and figure out why y'all can't seem to make it work. Why is it that white women who who get with black men and at some point eventually end up being a single mom with all them connections that y'all got. Y'all never really seen the last. That's the part that's so interesting to me. But carry on though.
Is it that I do connect with black men easier than I connect with white men? Yeah. I connect with that rawness and that depth. And I've found that a lot of, the white men that I've dated, it is a lot of performance.
All right. The
I
thing
think
is,
one of the biggest things that is so hard for black women
I'm going to repeat this. Women are the initiators of divorce. One more time. Women are the initiators of divorce. Black women um, don't initiate divorce with non black men. And the reason for that is because they want to hide their foolishness. They want to make it seem like, they want the stats to be where it is. Once again, because they need that so they can feel like they're not the problem. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay. It's hard to find white single mothers. Yeah, it is. Black women see the success, that's why they keep lying. It's a coping mechanism. Oh, absolutely. It's black women who are single moms of all races. Truth baby, anyone? Maybe black women do inherit, do initiate half the time. No, um, okay. Um, the reason why they're not getting divorced is because they don't initiate. Now, of the ones that do get divorced, maybe half initiate, but that's far less than the 70% that everyone has. But furthermore, the percentage that marry are so low, like it's so low that it's even pales in comparison. Like, I mean, it doesn't even. You can't even compare such a small sample population. Put it like that, especially since you're talking about over a 10-year marriage. They are getting divorced. That's why we don't see them lasting. Well, they're not getting divorced. They're just not getting married. They're getting pumped and dumped. The stats that they put out there are literally made up. Okay, let's see. Could be. I mean, like I wouldn't set that past them. What's highlighted when examining marital instability bonds? Black and white union, white wife, black husband marriages show twice the divorce rate. Let's see. Whereas black white is less likely to end a divorce than okay. For the same period, according to U.S. Census Bureau data, white wife. Okay, let's see if we can find this data. You're right. This is holy crap. This is 2008. This was published in 2008. That's almost 20 years ago. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, that's bullshit. Dang, they be running with stats. They just be running. Oh, and the so this is published in 2008 based on information on a survey. Holy crap! This isn't even like official divorce rate. Okay, yeah, yeah, they stay lying. So 2002, they went out, I guess, and asked a bunch of people, and we all know black women lie. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm married to my white husband, and we've been together since the beginning of time, and she's not married at all. Okay, let's see. Using the 2002 National Survey of Family, compare the likelihood of divorce. Okay, this is a survey. Let me see the references here. Okay, doing a deep dive. No, you're right. It probably wasn't even true in 2008. And now it's the same page not found. This is this is just yeah, this is just bullshit. They really go deep into their bullshit. Compared to white couples, let's see. There have been higher interracial couples have higher rates of divorce, particularly for those marrying during the late particularly those who married during the late 80s. So even if the survey is true, this is for people that married in the late 80s. We also find race and gender variations comparing white couples where white female black male and white let's see white female Asian male marriages are more prone to divorce. Meanwhile, those involving non-white females and white men and Hispanic non-whites. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is extremely outdated data. Somebody said I see it from the 70s. No, I don't even want to go. Like, I mean, all that stuff is useless. That stuff is useless. And it's really like, I mean, and the fact that the survey wasn't done again, or maybe it was, it just didn't have the results. Like it seemed like they probably do this survey every 10 years and then they pick the decade that they had the favorable results and ran with it. Okay, let's see here. Basically, it says page not found. Dang. How can Wikipedia have references that don't exist? Oh, wait, here's a PDF. Let's see. Okay. All right. 1980 to 2009. Let's see. Oh, this is the amount married. This has nothing to do with divorce. Let's see. Okay. I'm sick of reading this. All right. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, send it to me. You know the drill. There's no decade where they have favorable results. That's why I brought up this 1970s video. The low key said it. Okay. They were jealous black male rates were rising while we were divorcing them. Are you sure it was us that was divorcing them or the other way around? Great show tonight. Appreciate you, Ray. After women are active ops. Yep. Here, let me go there so I can see it. So I can see it better. There we go. Big screen. All right. Why are there no black dolls with afros? Even in their fantasies, they have on Indian girls' hair. I don't think that that's really like black women's fault or what they fantasize about. I think that Barbie, when they decided to make black Barbie, they just took a white Barbie doll and painted it black. Like literally, I think that that's what they did. The black male dolls have natural hair. Did they? I wasn't even paying attention. I was laughing so hard at a woman doing a doll show. At a grown woman doing a doll show, I didn't even pay attention to the hair. Let me see. Oh, for those of you who just got here, let me share this with you because this is a thing. This is what she actually does.
For a minute, but welcome back to episodes. Baby, should we just get the chicken salad and just call it a day?
Yeah, that sounds about right, honey. Yeah, I'll take the tuna fish as well. That sounds really good.
Yo, check this out, Tyrone. Motherfucking white boy.
You're right. He do have a black man's hair texture. Holy crap. Holy crap. So I think it's Mattel that makes Barbie. And yeah, they actually made black men with their natural textured hair despite being plastic. And they made black women with the same hair as Barbie, just not blonde. Wow. Wow, yes, his hair is wildly different than Ken's hair. His nose is even different than Ken's
One
nose.
of ours. Ain't that some shit? The fuck they doing together? Yeah, Marquise. These white boys getting too comfortable, thinking they could just date our women. Fuck going on here? I don't know, man. Let's go talk to him and see what's up then.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you all right? Is this gentleman bothering you?
Gentlemen, this is my husband.
Yeah, the nose is different.
Can I help you?
They made it a point to make the black Ken, and Ken is not like a main portion of the Barbie universe, especially black Ken. So, but they still made it a point to have him with natural textured hair because they understand that black girls that play with Barbie fantasize about being a white girl with dark complexion, but being with an actual black man.
Nicer? No, you could just be quiet. I mean, are you a police officer? I am not a police officer. I am actually having lunch with my wife. Is there something I can help you boys with? Boys? Did you just call us boys? Nigga, you see this shit? These white boys getting real comfy. Yeah, I see this shit. Excuse me. If you guys do not leave my table this instant, I will call the police.
Oh, all right then, cool. We'll leave. It's cool. I just want to say one more thing to your wife. If he go to chopping your ass up, don't call the black man for help. I just want to let you know that.
Get your ass out of here.
Oh, no, honey. Let me ask him this. Do you have that same energy for black men who unalive black women? Yeah, that's what the fuck I thought. Get your ass on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode of Negroes.
So that actually happened. Okay, I want to thank everybody that participated. I want to thank the managers and moderators and members. Those who are listening silently and those who participate in the chat, hit the like button on your way out. GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.